Hi everyone, I'm Sam, and today we are not doing tarot spreads, but I actually wanted to talk about the differences between Western astrology and Vedic astrology, since from what I see out there, I'm not the only, but I'm one of the only people that does Vedic astrology on social media like this. So let's get into the big difference. So the biggest difference of Vedic astrology and Western astrology is that Western astrology studies the signs as seasons, right? So it's more a study of the signs. Vedic astrology studies the constellations in relation to the earth. So it's more the study of light and study of the planets and study of the stars. And that's the biggest difference that I would say, is that in Vedic astrology, there's much more of a focus on actual stars and planets. In Western astrology, there's more of a focus on the actual signs. So is one right and is one wrong? Both are used for different things, okay? Western astrology, I would say, should be used when you are looking into a person's psyche and how their brain works, personality, things like that. Vedic astrology has more to do with karma, why things are the way it is in your life. You know, in short, Western astrology reads everything going on in this life right now, right now. Vedic astrology shows you everything that has been going on in your soul's life up until now, and now what you're doing. If you want to get technical, Vedic astrology is more accurate. Okay, there, I said it. It doesn't mean that Western astrology is wrong. It just means that Vedic astrology is a little bit more accurate. And this is the reason why. So there's 4 movements of the earth, right? There's the first one where it just spins around, right? Every 24 hours, and that's what causes our day and night. And that's also what causes everything to look like it rises in the east. So that causes the sun to rise in the east, that causes the moon to rise in the east, that causes all the rising signs to rise in the east, is like the earth going like this, yeah? Then the second movement of the earth takes about a year, and it goes around the sun. And it goes on the ecliptic, right? Then we have the third, which are the poles that are moving at about 23 or 24 degrees at a tilt, right? And that's how we get our seasons, because if we were moving around the ecliptic, like just straight up and down, we wouldn't get seasons. Now, the fourth one is the big fat difference between Western and Vedic astrology. So the poles, right? There is a very slight nutation, or a slight little wobble that happens with the earth. So the earth is kind of slowly going like this, right? And that's why, like, Father's Day doesn't end up on the same day every year. This is why spring equinox is different every year. This is why all those dates are randomly kind of different. It's because the earth literally has been like tick, 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 like every year. So that fourth movement of the earth is what Western astrology missed. So basically what happened was the Greeks were like, ooh, we like astrology too, we're gonna do our charts. And they did all the calculations and all that stuff, and they lined Aries up with spring equinox perfectly, and they were like, perfect, this is great. But they missed that fourth calculation, so unfortunately over time it has moved 1 degree backwards. So now Western charts are technically about 24 degrees off. So this is also why Vedic charts and Western charts usually don't match. Sometimes people will have one sign that it matches in both, but this is why they typically don't match, is because there was literally a miscalculation. So this is why Western astrology now is considered study of the signs as seasons, because the signs are aligned with the seasons. Basically, it's almost like saying, like, if you were born during Libra season, it's the same as saying you were born during fall, you know, or if you were born during Pisces season, it's the same as saying like you're a Valentine's Day baby. It's kind of, it's that kind of. Another big difference is that Vedic astrology does not use the 3 outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And that is only because Vedic astrologers believe that they have just been essentially discovered too recently to have any plausible data of what they actually do. Here's the thing with Vedic astrology, let's note this. Those planets were all founded like in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and Vedic astrologers are still like, it hasn't been enough time to tell. So that's how old Vedic astrology is. Also, another big reason too is that the outer three you can't see with the human eye. Like on a really, really like dark night where you can like really see the stars, you can see all the planets except for Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So with that considered, they consider that those three are so far away that they probably don't have as intense of an effect on us as the closer ones do. But of course they obviously do because they're planets, but that's the reason. And another difference between Vedic and Western astrology is that Western astrology lost its Greek holistic philosophy. Vedic astrology is a full-fledged system. They have Vedic astrology, Ayurvedic medicine, which is holistic medicine that's also based on astrology, and also Vatsu, which is Indian or Vedic feng shui, which is also based on astrology. So essentially with a Vedic astrology chart, you can go to an Ayurvedic doctor and they will look at your chart and like see like what karmically like health issues you have and then like deal with that. And then same with like a Vatsu practitioner, like you would take your chart to them and they would tell you where in your house is best to put things based on like you and like your astrological placements. Western astrology did have that. The Greeks had all that too. Like they totally did. I don't know what happened to it and I don't know where it is. I don't study Greek philosophy or Greek mythology. If anyone has any answers to that, please let me know because that's really be curious to know. Also, another big thing in Western versus Vedic astrology is in Western astrology, everyone's obsessed with their sun sign, right? It's like sun, moon, and then rising. In Vedic astrology, it's more rising, moon, or sun, or even moon, rising, sun. The reason in Vedic astrology why those are more important is your rising sign is what defines this physical vessel, right? The rising sign rules the first house of self, so everything about you. Your moon sign is everything to do internally, your emotions, what you need, who you are on a soul level, right? And the sun is like what you show to people. Also, Vedic astrology has more of an emphasis on the north and south nodes of the moon. Western astrology uses it too, but not as much as Vedic astrology. So Vedic astrology, if you were to look at the planets as different people in a kingdom, the sun would be the king, right? The moon would be the queen. Mercury would be the prince or the squire. Venus would be the mediator. Mars would be the militant. Saturn would be service or any type of dirty work, disciplinary work. And Jupiter is the guru. Rahu, North Node, it would be like secret services, like CIA. And Ketu's South Node wouldn't even be part of it. They would just be like, I'm out. I'm gonna go sit over here on a mountain. Okay, so the last thing that I will say about Vedic versus Western in this video, especially because I use it for my weekly updates, is nakshatras. So nakshatras are different sections of the sky. There's 27 of them, and they are defined by specific stars in the sky as well. There are some that rule particular signs, there are some that go over some signs, but every single nakshatra is represented by some sort of personality trait or some sort of imagery, and that's kind of like the theme of that part of the sky or what that part of the sky influences us as human beings to do or to think. So yeah, that is like my quick little overview of the differences of Western versus Vedic astrology. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please ask me more questions if you have more questions, because I'm sure that, I'm learning more every single day, and I'm sure that you guys are curious too. So yeah, let me know.